Hello, welcome. I have Sunshine White here. Hi, Sunshine. I'm so
Hi.
excited for this episode of Get Real and Own Person podcast. I'm the host, Megan Morris Garzon. And today, as I said, I have Sunshine here. I will let you introduce yourself in a minute and speak about what you do, why you love it, etc. But she is Sunshine of Sunshine White Photography. And today I'm really excited to get into this topic which we're calling Seen in the Shift Photography, Identity, and a Woman's Next Chapter, and kind of touching on something that's been coming up in conversations a lot for me. And I think you said this has been top of mind as well, just the transitions that a woman goes through in life and, tying in your photography profession to that. So, welcome,
Mhm.
Sunshine. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. And it's great timing and funny enough, I feel like I'm going through the same thing too. Good that
Okay,
I'm
so
seeing
it's relevant and top of mind for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes emotional too, just because I'm
Yeah.
going through it as well. So hopefully I won't cry during your podcast.
You can let it out if need be. I'm all
um So I do headshots and personal branding and the joke is women or people who do not like to be photographed. It's absolutely true, but I do find that it's kind of a funny thing to say because everyone feels that way.
Yes,
Um,
it's true.
I've been doing headshots, seniors, families, babies, weddings for 20 years.
Okay.
Probably a little more, but nice round number.
Yeah.
And, uh, I've seen people and women in every phase of life from, you know, teenagers and up. So, yeah, it's been an interesting ride for me.
Yeah, you've seen a lot and
Mhm.
like the ages have ranged, right, throughout your
Yeah.
career and the type of people and women in particular that you're kind of guiding and helping them bring out their personality and all of that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in the 2 decades of photography work that you've done professionally, um, what has that vantage point taught you about women that you don't think you could have learned any other way?
Just being able to see, I think I've met so many different women in different stages. I don't think I ever would have met that many. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I would
Oh,
never have met that many people
so many
in
people,
general. Yeah.
different types of people.
So, yeah, and during a photo shoot, you're having conversation with people to get to know them, to be able to photograph them the way they want to be photographed, and so you're hearing life stories and all
Yeah.
these life stories, and so I absolutely would not have had that experience otherwise.
That's really cool. Do you think that's one of the things you enjoy most
Yeah.
about that, like hearing the stories and the
Yep,
paths of all different people and kind of capturing their story in the photos, right?
absolutely, and, the joy, I think, of being able to reflect that back to them
Yes.
is that's yeah, I love that.
That's really special and powerful when you
Mhm.
so what do you think it is that made you understand in yourself that that's something you were able to do well and that you had an interest in early on?
Um,
Mhm.
I think I'm not even sure. I think it's just being, hmm, I'm not a small talk kind of person,
Mm,
so
yeah.
given an opportunity to, have deep conversations with someone, it that felt more exciting and fulfilling to me as a career, so I think that once I realized that I could do that for a career, but, I'm not a therapist,
Yeah.
but I didn't have to go to school to be a therapist, but I, at the same time, could make people happy,
Mm.
uh, and support them in their life journeys, that was really exciting.
Yeah, that's kind of perfect, and it's nice that you didn't have to go through years of school
Yeah.
for But yeah, and make people happy along the way. And just as you're talking, I was thinking, I think most people, when they think of photography and having your photo taken,
Yeah.
it's not always seen as deep
Right.
and getting
Absolutely.
deeper with someone, but it is clearly. So how would you describe that when you're getting to know someone, trying to
Mhm.
capture them accurately, and then having those conversations? Shallow conversations aren't for you. You
Right.
prefer to have something more meaningful. So how would you describe that experience to someone, in terms of how photography is actually getting to that deeper level with a person and connecting in a more meaningful way?
Right. So, when you're photographing, if you were to photograph someone in a shallow way, or I won't want to say shallow, but just at surface level,
Yeah.
um, you would be photographing them in their perfect physical light.
Oh,
What is the best technical way to look in front of a camera. And when you're photographing someone on a deeper level, you're photographing how they feel, and you're
mm,
photographing who they want to become. And you can't do that without the conversations ahead of time. And you can't do that without a connection quickly when they're in front of you. So
mhm.
I think, yeah, so I dive really quickly into who people are and where they're coming from so that I can capture that for them. I don't
That's really cool and, s
know.
you know, I think really exciting to think about, because 'cause I'm actually gonna be taking photos with
Mhm.
you and just putting myself in that situation of where I'm at and where I would like to go, how I would like to feel, and for you to translate that with the type
Mm,
of photos we take and how they come out, right? And so that's a skill, and that's really, really cool that you're able to do that with people. And
mhm,
so I'm curious, in all these years, there have probably been common threads that you've seen, at all the different points in women's lives in particular.
mm.
So what are some of these shifts or transitions you've kept seeing over and over?
I see women, starting, with teenagers. They have these expectations of what their life's going to look like and who they're
Mhm.
supposed to become.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of pressure on them, or they think there is. There isn't, but they've put it on themselves to
Yeah.
do certain things at certain times in their life. And I hear those stories. They need to have kids or a baby by a certain age, or they need
Yeah.
to look a certain way. And then women, I see a lot of women that nearing in on 40 or 40 years old, they have this the wheels come off the wagon kind of thing. And it's a reevaluation. Do I want to continue going through life the way I've been? Am I actually
Mm.
happy? I do a lot of self evaluation. And then women hit 50, it's like this decade shift. It's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, they hit 50 to 55, time frame 60 even. And their kids have now grown if they had them. And they're looking at, oh, I have all this time that I didn't have. Am I going to pursue a career I wanted to, or am I going to take the one that I have into a new level? Am I going to restart my life? Or, it's like it's a very odd um, time, but really empowering as
Mm.
well. Um, all of them are empowering, right? And I do think that women, especially, go through these decade empowerment shifts.
Yeah, and you've seen it
Oh,
firsthand, right?
yes.
That's so
Yeah.
cool from your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. And I'm in my 30s right now, and I'm doing, personal growth stuff all the
Mhm,
time. I have my own business, clearly. I've
mhm.
been working on a lot of growth in a lot of areas. And it's like
Yeah.
your identity is shifting in this
Mm.
transition when,
Yeah.
I've moved from my corporate life into being an entrepreneur and helping other people with their brand identity as well. So it's like a full circle thing. But I
Mm,
completely understand where it can be confusing and you can need some guidance along the way when you're shifting your entire identity, right? So,
Right.
how have you been able to help during is there a decade that you've felt like you've had more experience helping people in that transition?
Absolutely. I think that the 40 and the 50 markers for me have been the ones where I've been able to give more value to their lives or help them more so.
Mm.
Um, I know you haven't gotten there yet. We are doing a photo shoot together, so it's not like, you know,
Yes.
a line in the sand kind of thing, but um yeah, so maybe you're just doing it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually glad to be getting going with it now, but perhaps you go through all different stages of life. Who knows where I'll be in a decade,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
And so there's always those evolutions of self.
right.
Um, and that's
Absolutely.
and it's like
Yeah,
you
and
were
I think
saying at 50, you might be like your kids are grown and you have more
right.
time. And so it's like the possibility. There's so much possibility. What should I do?
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
so for the women that come to you to have photos taken, is there anything that kind of surprises you about that phase of reinvention that some of them are at?
I think what surprised me was just continuing to see that same kind of pattern. That was
Oh,
surprising to me.
mm,
Um, but it's so cool in a way because when you start seeing it and then you start running into more women in those age groups, it's almost like you recognize each other right away, like you're part of this club.
yeah.
You have this language and perspective that, that maybe other people around you or men around you don't have. Um, so I always thought that was feeling like I'm part of a club, I guess, of
Yeah.
women, was a surprise.
And how would you
Realizing we're
can you
not alone.
yes, you're not alone. And
Yeah.
just can you go into more detail about what that club is?
I just think that we have that we just as women go through life, we have a different perspective on it than maybe men do.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
we just go through it differently. And I think it on a way, sometimes a little deeper way, because I think we physically go through it differently than they do. We have different shifts, um, in many different ways, whether we are physically having a baby, like that's
Yeah.
something, right? Like, hormonal shifts and just trying to navigate all of that is just different. Um,
Yes, you're so right that women go through so much they experience life in a different way than
a
men, and
different
it's
way.
like giving birth is just a whole 'nother level of
Mhm,
intensity physically, emotionally. It
mhm,
just rips you apart. I mean, as
mhm.
mothers, we've gone through it and we
Right.
are surrounded by other mothers as well in our lives. And so, that's yeah, to be in that club of understanding of
Mhm.
it's complex.
It is.
Every woman is complex, and
Mhm,
as you go through life, it's kind of exciting in a way because it's
yeah,
never over. It's you're always,
right.
experiencing something else, that'll, shake your whole world, right, in all phases of life, and what I'm thinking about right now is when you're doing your work and
Mhm,
in women, like, maybe in the 40-50s range where you feel like you really, um, guide them through, do
mhm.
you feel like there's that need to be truly seen in a way, and you help them understand how they
Yeah.
want to be seen? Because that's something I do in my work as well, and I help
Mhm.
people translate who they really are to how they can be seen externally. So,
Yes.
yes, I would love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very similar in that way,
Mhm.
right? So you're helping them find perspective and words and a whole presence, like right,
Yeah. Presence,
you're
yeah.
digging in the same way, you know. Um, I do it more in a visual way, so looking for maybe parts of them that they haven't even fully realized yet sometimes, and
Yeah.
giving them a visual manifestation of who they want to become.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. 'Cause I do like, we do similar we're very aligned in our
Absolutely.
work. That's why we
Absolutely.
have connected,
Yeah.
but I help with kind of the wordsmithing and,
Yep.
the voice aspect, and you help with the visual
Mhm.
aspect. That's really, really cool, and so, what skills do you think you innately have to help people feel more comfortable? Because you were talking about most people and pretty much everyone isn't comfortable being photographed
Right.
initially. So for someone to be not only open to that, but bring out their essence and kind of like even maybe even redefine how they want to be seen and come across. How do you help them with something like that?
I listen really intently. I listen I listen to their, energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You're
so
in tune with what
I
Mhm.
feel people's energy as they're talking to me, and sometimes, um, I can feel something that they're not verbally saying and
Mm,
give that back to them and help them understand very quickly that I'm hearing them or seeing them, um, potentially in a way that they hadn't before,
right.
right? I mean, more than likely they're partners, but um, more than they would expect, I think, a photographer in that moment.
Yeah, that's kind
Like when
of
they feel
unique.
seen, their guard comes down when they're like, "Oh, okay, you
Like you
actually
see me, you get me.
understand what I'm trying to accomplish, or you see me in a way that I was really hoping somebody would see." Because, yeah, that's the part of me I want to show the world, and that's
Yes.
going to help me get where I want to go. But yeah, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I photograph people with who they're becoming rather than who they are now. And actually, the
Yeah.
majority of the time I am, but sometimes they don't know it yet. And that's like a super cool moment.
Yes, and again, not to focus on myself, but just because we are starting to work together and
Same.
I in our in our first kind of consultation of what my vision was, what I had in mind for my brand photo shoot,
Yep.
you just like instantly could understand like not only the aesthetics and the vibe, but like
Right.
the energy
Yep.
and that and I feel like you just intuitively read my not only my current energy, but where I'm going, who I'm becoming in this
Exactly.
process. Because I'm in the process of becoming, like I was saying.
Totally.
So were you always like this, like from a young age? Like, what
Yes.
is the background with your upbringing? I want to hear about that. That's deep.
It is 100% my upbringing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was raised, meditating at a very
Okay.
early age.
Well, there
It
you
was
have it.
something we did as a family, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, so being self-aware was, like, a number 1 priority. It wasn't grades at school, it was self-awareness.
Oh, I
Um,
like that. That's
yeah,
so important.
mhm. So,
Emotional
um
intelligence.
exactly. Right, I mean, that's a huge life skill.
Yes.
Um
That
mhm.
not a lot of people achieve or understand or grasp, especially from a young age.
Right, right. So, yeah, so I would say that being self-aware also helps you see other people, um, because if you're always searching for your own, feelings, then you're also sort of aware of how other people are doing that around you or aren't. But you can
Yeah,
pick up on little traits too, of like how they feel,
right.
um, little signs of how they feel if you're so
Mhm.
used to looking at your own self all the time. I
Yeah, because it's kind of like, it seems like, and I try to be the same way, and I try to be
Mhm,
very self-aware, and when it's kind of ingrained in how you think about yourself, the world,
mhm.
are, noticing things around you and just being, like I said before, in tune,
Yes,
then you pick up on that from other people because it's just kind of a habit you build, right?
exactly, yeah, it's a habit, and I would
Mhm.
say, yeah, it's just being intuitive, being,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I don't really know how it all came about. I mean, you hear about people say that they're an empath, they just pick up on. I hadn't heard that word until I was in my 40s,
Mm.
but I remember going, "Oh, that's what I do." Like,
Yes.
you just sort of
Empathy.
hearing, not to be woo woo, but like sometimes I'll, hear a person's um feelings as a word in my head. Like, all of a
Oh,
sudden, I'll just hear what they're feeling. Like,
really?
it's hard to explain, but
That's
all of a
cool.
sudden, I'll just be like, "Oh, I know what I know what they're
And
trying to
so
say."
then if you're in a shoot or in a session and you get that feeling,
Sometimes I'm like, "Oh."
do you snap the picture? Like, what do you do? Do you have
No, I
to talk
just
to them?
yeah, I would just talk to them, or sometimes I would just almost check myself and make sure that I'm relating to them in a way that helps with whatever that was.
Hmm.
So I'm not
Okay,
trying to
that's so cool.
capture that. I'm trying
You're
to
connecting.
I'm just connecting, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so important because I think when, like you were kind of saying this before, when someone feels like you're understood and you're
Mhm,
heard and you're seen, then you have a connection and then that vibe brings out the best energy. And I feel
mhm,
like that's how people feel confident. So I kind of want to talk about what's your approach to ensuring that someone is confident when they're being photographed and representing that vision of themselves from a confident place, not, a performative,
mm,
forced place, but just like
mhm,
being grounded and strong in who they are.
yeah. I don't think you can fake confidence.
No,
Um
I've tried and it doesn't work.
Me too. Um, yeah. I I think we can sometimes though, actually, this is interesting because
Mhm.
I would say that sometimes pretending almost like a forced fun in a photo shoot then turns into real fun,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
It's like when you
looks
smile so much and then you start to feel happy.
yeah, so that actually works like confidence too, right? So we develop our own confidence through taking action. We don't
Yeah.
develop confidence and then take action.
Yes. Oh, that's a lesson I've had to learn.
Right.
Like, just, like, do the things,
Do the
practice,
thing.
learn whatever it is, then you're confident, not, like, pretend
Right.
like you know it, and then it doesn't land, you know?
Yeah, you can't sit at home and develop confidence. You have to do the things, teach yourself that you can do them,
Yeah, and
and
believe it.
and and believe it, and yes, and prove to yourself that
Exactly.
you have the ability, and then you have the confidence. So, I
Mhm.
think it's kind of the same in a photo shoot. Like, you show up even though you're uncomfortable, and then we start to, and if you're really uncomfortable, then maybe we'll pretend to have fun, and then all of a sudden you're having fun. Or hysterically, I've found that sometimes putting the fan on someone, like the modeling fan, the
The
blowing,
Beyoncé
like,
fan.
they just think it's, like, so over the top, awkward, and out of your comfort zone that it just
Mhm.
becomes
It
fun.
becomes
It, like,
good. Yeah.
rips the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, let's do that in mine. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
That's so funny. So just thinking about, you know, being truly confident, not faking it, just to kind of backtrack in your career, were there points when you were kind of getting your footing in your photography career where you felt like you were kind of like not fully, you know, owning or maybe it had some imposter syndrome or just things,
Oh, yeah.
distracting you from being that truly confident version?
Mhm. Definitely. I mean, I used to worry before every photo shoot, even though when I first started doing high school seniors, that was a
Oh,
little
yeah.
different because I had
Mhm.
always done babies and families for years. And then
Oh,
I just started doing high school seniors. There weren't many people doing it when I started doing it in the area. There was only a couple photographers around, um, which was great for me once I started doing it. But yeah, I would worry that I was gonna mess up, at first, and I would just keep going, and then after a while,
yeah.
you realize, "No, you're good. You know what you're doing."
Yeah, like, that's such good advice, and I've been focused on that lately is, like, if you're worried, just keep going, and, like,
Keep
that's the
going.
action. That's
Mhm.
just doing it over and over again, putting in that effort, and then you'll become that. So, it's not
Yeah,
faking it, it's just going forward, moving forward.
that's a huge distinction. It's not
Yes.
faking it. You're there because you, ultimately want to be there, you ultimately want to be successful. So
Right.
you just keep showing up. Like, nobody
And
shows
that
perfect the first time.
yes, I feel like that is so relatable in all areas of life and in
Yeah.
entrepreneurship,
Mm,
having your own business, like, I feel that, and, it's
yes.
been year 1, and so, keeping it moving forward and not saying, "I
Mhm.
don't know what I'm doing," like, "What why am I
Yeah.
like, why is it not working perfectly the first time?" It's like, you just gotta keep moving forward, and then you feel that naturally, um,
Yeah.
feel better over time, right?
Yeah, if it was perfect the first time, then it probably wouldn't be yours.
Yes. Oh my god, I love that quote. Yeah, say more about that.
I don't know, I just thought of
That's
it.
so good. If it was perfect the first time, it wouldn't be yours. And
Right.
so
Can't
it's
be,
like
right?
you have your own journey through life. You make mistakes. I don't actually believe in mistakes, but there's bumps
Right.
along the way. There are
Sure.
difficult times, especially we were talking about the times of transition are challenging.
Right.
But it's your unique like everything happens to um form who you're meant to be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I think that it's yeah, right, like, life would be a template. If we just showed up and it was perfect, then we'd be following someone else's template, and
Yeah.
so if you're creating your own, it's going to be messy.
Yeah. That's very, very true. And so with your clients, women that are maybe in a vulnerable state and they're
Mm.
unsure about like where they're headed, do you give them that type of advice? Like it's okay to be messy. This is
Yeah.
your own way and that's a good thing?
Right. Yeah, yeah. So, and sometimes I'll just say, "We're just gonna play."
Yes. We're just gonna
We're
play.
just gonna
See what
see.
happens.
We're just gonna see, and
Mhm.
I just sometimes I spend more time, um, just organizing outfits and backgrounds than I would for someone else, just because I want that to be solid, and then
Mm.
whatever comes of the moment, and that way if like that one thing is laid out, then everything else that happens in it can be messy.
That's
But
really
it'll be
interesting.
right. Like, visually, it'll be alright. It'll be right.
Yeah, like, you set the stage, right? You kind
For
of, like
chaos. Yeah.
you set the stage for chaos. That's so
Yeah.
cool because it's like, aesthetically, it'll be fine, the lighting
Right.
will be fine,
Yep.
but let's get weird and let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah,
That's
or just, yeah, get a little uncomfortable, right?
mm,
So, the whole thing's uncomfortable, but
like
if
with the
visually
fan.
it makes sense,
Yeah.
then the rest of it's okay because we'll figure it out together as we go.
Yeah, it's like, all these things you're saying about photography, it's like, that's how life is.
Life. Yeah.
It reflects life.
Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Mhm. So, do you ever feel like I mean, you must feel like, "Oh, this is the perfect path and career path for me,"
Mhm.
because it just seems like everything you're saying, you're, like, just so it's just you're in the right place at the right time, and you're doing what you are called to do. Is that correct? Like, I just get that
Yeah.
from everything you're saying.
Yeah. It feels like who I am, not what
Mm.
I do.
Oh, I love it's your identity in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes aspects of it difficult because then it
Mm.
doesn't, you know, it's been my livelihood as well, right? But when it's who
Right.
you are, sometimes it's hard to separate that this is
Mhm.
my job or this is my business. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard
Yes.
to separate that life from
Well,
work.
I'm kind of starting to feel the same because I'm pursuing a career that's more, like, truly who I am and who I'm
Mhm,
called to be and reflects that rather
mhm,
than just a job, but I
right.
can see what you're saying of, like, the pros and cons to that
Mhm.
because it's very emotional too,
It
and
is.
it's, I was talking to someone recently and doing having your own business and, trying to pursue your calling is, like, one of the most healing things you can do
Mhm.
because it kind of just rips you apart, and
Yes.
so in doing work that is really representative of who you are, but it's also your livelihood, do you feel
Yeah.
like it's been a bumpy journey for you at times and just, like, you've had moments where it was very, very challenging?
Yeah, absolutely. Like there are times when, especially when you have creative moments that are like at weird times of the day, I've noticed
Mhm.
I'm very creative at like 6:30 in the morning.
Okay,
And so,
that's cool.
I have this work spurt that's like, 6:30 to 8.
Okay.
Um, and then another one that unfortunately starts at about 3:30. So then
Unfortunately.
it's unfortunate because when you have kids, you need to
Mm,
start making dinner at, like, 4:30,
yeah,
5,
to
and
get
I
ahead
wanna
of it.
keep working. I don't wanna
Yeah,
make dinner. And so that was a challenge. But also, yeah, it's weird, you get into this momentum, and it's so fulfilling that it's
mm,
really hard to stop and say, "I have all these other aspects of my life that I also want to be fulfilling."
yes, the balance.
The balance, and you have to stop and make time, but when your career, your business is so, feels so on track for your personal development as well, it's really
Yes,
hard to step away.
I feel that. I understand exactly what you mean because you're so in it, and
Mhm,
it's fulfilling, it's energizing, it's
mhm,
exciting,
mhm.
and it's helping you along that personal growth path.
Yep.
And then you get so in that zone that but, having children,
Yeah.
um, and as you know, I have a 2-year-old son,
Mhm.
so it's like I
Mhm.
was just saying this to a friend who's trying to have children right now, and I like kind of like being forced to snap and switch back into like, I'll pick up my son from daycare, and then it's, mom and
Yep.
family time, and I'm not on the laptop, I'm not thinking about that stuff, and it's
Mhm.
a good, um, separation in a way. It's a
Mhm.
healthy separation because
Mhm.
while that's still definitely a part of me always,
Right.
there are and women, there are all different parts of a woman, and
Right.
so sometimes the balance some days it's easier than other days when you're really, like you said, like, working on something in that mode
Mhm.
where your your head is really in it and your heart is really in it, but then
Mhm.
your heart can be in something else as well, right? So kind of
Right. Right.
being a chameleon in a way.
Totally. A chameleon. My mom's always called me that. Like,
Really?
she would
That's so
describe me
funny that I
that way.
said that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think she's always called you that?
Just because I think it's because I do that kind of when I'm with people, I can kind of turn into, um not turn into, but, Um, I don't know. I think meld, maybe it's just picking up on vibrations,
Yeah.
with other people.
Mhm.
Maybe it's that listening,
Mhm. You can kind of
relating
flow with
to
the
all different
the
kinds of
flow with
people.
people, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I really have an answer for that
That's
one.
cool. No, I think
Um,
that's very fitting.
yeah. Oh, I was going to say something and now I don't remember what it was. It had to do with, your modes, the work modes.
Yes.
I have found it to be really helpful over the years, or I would call it vacation mode and work mode.
Yep.
And it's something that I could switch. I learned to switch very quickly with young children.
Yes.
I could go from working, sometimes it was harder than others, but I would say, okay, I'm in vacation mode now. And it might only be for 2 hours,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I would take a vacation in my own head
Yes. And that's important to do.
for 2 hours.
Yeah. I do that
Yeah.
as well,
Mhm.
from, like, the my son goes to daycare from the time he comes home till bedtime.
Right.
That's I guess you could call it vacation time even though it's a lot of work, but yes, but it's vacation from work.
It is, yeah, or even for me, when I would say, "All right, this is vacation time," it meant that I put everything else away and just
Mhm.
enjoy the moment, just be in the moment.
Yes, being present.
Mhm,
That's huge.
mhm.
Mhm. And that's important to remember, and when you have so much going in your mind at a given time, but just stopping, putting everything else aside, and being present.
Mm, right,
Yeah.
and that's a
Cool.
skill.
It is a skill. It's a learned skill. I'm still
Yeah.
learning, but it
Mhm.
feels good when you're able to do that because it's like those are the memories you have. Those are the moments.
Right. I wish I did it more.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm,
I'm trying to do it as much as possible
mhm.
because right now I feel like I am trying to force myself to separate like we were talking about, but
Yeah,
when I do, it feels great. I love it. I
it
love doing
does,
it. Yeah.
it does.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you feel fulfilled in both areas, and
Yes.
it's a hard line, and
Right.
yeah,
But being fulfilled in the various aspects of your life is how you feel whole, right? And not
right,
unbalanced or
right,
confused in any way.
right,
So,
right.
yeah, a lot of really deep, important stuff we've been talking about that relates to photography. It's such a good topic to prompt other conversations, I feel like. But just to kind of wrap it up with the title of this episode, Seen in the Shift, the
Mhm,
transition and how you know, help people feel like they're understood and connect with them, and also guide them through a vulnerable and kind of raw time in life, right? So in your words, how would you describe what it means to be seen in the shift?
um, I would say that oh, man, um, being seen during a time of transition is I guess I'm not even sure how to my brain is not getting around that. Um, because I think that there's, a time of transition, that women really need to be seen in to feel like they can, be supported, and
Mhm.
I think I don't know, there's just so many thoughts running through my head right now.
It's a
Um,
big question. It's a big thing.
it
But
is.
I think that level of support is just so it's
Yeah,
always welcome. It's always needed, welcome, and it'll always be positive when you offer support to someone, especially when they're going through like that stage of becoming a new version of themselves. Um, and I like in just our conversation about my future shoot with you, I
mhm,
feel like, yes, like you are someone to lean on as I approach this kind of new phase, which is
mhm,
exciting. It's a little scary, but I think what you said about being able to tune in and connect is huge
right,
when So, maybe that's a way you help people be seen and just to get on that, to be the chameleon and to shift into their energy and where they're
Right.
at.
Yeah, thank you for pulling all that together for me.
You're welcome.
That
I'm just
was
using your words.
I think being able to show people, a visual representation of their manifestation of or physical manifestation of their vision of themselves
Yes.
is just a huge support, and it's
Yes.
exciting for them when they get that and they didn't even realize that that's what they were going to get from the photo shoot.
Yeah, it's surprising, right? Sometimes it's
Mhm.
like, "Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I hear that all the time.
Ooh."
So,
And
yeah.
it's a pleasant
Mhm. Yes,
unexpectedness, right? It's
a good
good.
surprise.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
really, really cool. I think a lot of people are delighted by that when it's like, "Ooh," and, like, that's kind of the work I do with people. I get that reaction too of, like,
Mhm.
surprise, like, "Oh, like, I actually do feel this way. I actually do want to say this, and I can say this."
Yeah.
So and for you,
Mhm.
it's like, "I can be this. I can come across. I can look this way," or whatever it
Mhm.
is for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. This has been an awesome conversation, and I look forward
Yeah,
to chatting with you more soon. But yeah, take care.
me
And
too.
for anyone listening, Sunshine White, how can people connect with you?
My website, Sunshine White Photography, super simple. Yeah, so my name and photography across every every platform, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Really simple. That's good.
Yeah, very simple.
All right. Well, thank you again, and take care.
Thank you.
Okay.